So I think with that outreach, that reawakening, we are touching more people, and with that awareness will bring the kind of support that will place the indigenous peoples in their rightful space, as I see, in this land. We have been given last year a national holiday, but it was just a one-off holiday. It is not going to be a yearly occurrence. That national holiday, we asked for it. We lobbied for it, and it was for the sole purpose of bringing that national awareness to the rest of the population. And I think from what we have seen, all the different events we have had leading up to the holiday and on the holiday itself, we think that we have reached the goal that we had set in reaching the wider population as far as awareness is concerned. Our major goal and vision is to realize the First Peoples Heritage Village, because that is a space that will be created where we will showcase once again the authentic traditional ways of the First Peoples, where they lived, how they processed their foods, and so on. This will be for today more education, all right, and with the desire of preserving that aspect of it. But there will be other aspects in that space where the First Peoples can be engaged in employment, in indigenous industries, where they can sustain themselves and make a contribution to the wider society. So that is our major goal, to see that this 25 acres of land is developed into that space where the First Peoples can work, sustain themselves, and make a contribution to the wider society. We are not at the point where we are contemplating taking the government to court, because I think the situation in Canada is a bit different to Trinidad. While the issues of land is similar, and all indigenous peoples that I have come in contact with have issues with land in their respective countries because of what has happened previously to them, and foreign domination taking control and taking the land and so on. So there are issues. But I understand that in Canada there are treaties that are signed, many treaties. And so as a result of that, the government of Canada may have a direct responsibility to honor some of these treaties and so on. In Trinidad, we cannot recall any such treaties other than the Treaty of Amends in 1802, when Spain seceded Trinidad to the British. There was a treaty, and in that there is some areas that I think we need to look at, and we can get legal people to look at that and interpret that. But as far as the court process, I am not sure that we have sufficient evidence or whatever it is as taking the government of Trinidad to court. What I think we need to do as it relates to the government, the present government, past government, present government, and governments to come, while they were not responsibility for the act that was done to the indigenous peoples in those early days, because they were not in control and they were not even in existence at that time, I think they have a responsibility to honor in good faith some of these things, because they have inherited from the British. They have inherited from the British, and at the time of independence, the indigenous peoples did not have a voice as equal to the two major ethnic groups in the land, the Indo-Trinidadian and the Afro-Trinidadian, so that they were seen as extinct or not counted, But now that that awareness is here and there is a resurgence and a revival, I think that governments have a responsibility to look at these issues and be just in our times. Be just in our times. After all, the land was belonging to the First Peoples. All of Trinidad was belonging to the First Peoples. And we are not saying that the First People should inherit all of Trinidad again, because the situation have changed. You have other peoples who have been born here and live here for more than 2 or 3 generations. So they are also, in a way, indigenous to this land. This is the only land they know. So that, we have to honor that. But at least, I think they have a responsibility to make good to the descendants of the First Peoples with enough land space to do their agriculture and to preserve their heritage. And as I say, it is not only for them, but I'm sure it will contribute to nation building in the overall development of Trinidad. So in that sense, they have a responsibility, and they need to look at it not as a byproduct or something, ceremonial or like that, but they need to consider it for what it is worth.